Okay, we are here to do a movie review. They're few and far between right now because, like I've said in other videos, not a lot has released yet as far as what's on my list. But here we have far too late, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've been trying to see this movie for over a month since it came out, and everything that could have gotten in the way has been getting in the way. There have been multiple times where I've bought tickets. I have the Stubbs membership, so they're free technically, and then just didn't make it on time. And so I've technically lost money on this movie, but I gotta say, for me, it was worth it. I gave this movie a 4.5 stars out of 5, which strong start for the season between this and The Northman, and even Batman wasn't bad. Like, if that's the downfall of this season for me, that's a good downfall. But this is just at its core, this movie takes you, I'm not going to go into, it's so out there, so I'm not going to go into describing what it's about. You can go watch it, you should, but it's this, at its simplest, a very simple story told in an extremely abstract way. It's just a woman's, how would you say it, journey to self-discovery and learning to just be grateful for what she has and not live in the what-ifs and everything else. And it's a story that, even me saying that, is, we've probably seen that a million times, everybody. And it's told in such an abstract way, you walk out thinking it's something you've never seen before. And for me, at least, I was like, it never slows down, it moves consistently, there's universe hopping and all that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of fighting, which I saw this with my girlfriend, and she, pretty much all the things I like, she just wasn't a super big fan of, which it is. It's meant for a very specific audience. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, and some people are going to think it's just okay. Between me, my girlfriend, and my roommate, I think we're all on different pages. Roommate thinks it's okay or just good. My girlfriend thinks it's not terrible, but she didn't like it. And then I loved it. I think that it's the kind of movie that fulfills the things that I usually look at movies these days and go, I wish they just at least did that, where a lot of movies tell the same story over and over, and even shows, Atlanta kind of falling into that trap, like I do say. But this movie takes something that I've heard before and makes me forget that that's the story it's even telling at times, because it just is so all over the place, but it's purposeful, I think so. If that's not a word, I'm so sorry. It's just, everything has a reason, and I love that. And it's the Daniels, who are these two guys whose last names are Daniels, or their first names are Daniels. They also made the movie Swiss Army Man, which is another, it's like their style. It's almost like a music video-esque, where they take a really simplistic thing, where like Swiss Army Man is just a story of two best friends, but they tell it in a way where it's like a man who's on an island ready to kill himself, finds a lifeless carcass washed up on the beach, and the lifeless carcass speaks. And it's their journey to self-discovery within each other. And they both learn a lot. And then this is the same thing, just a woman's journey to self-discovery through her life, and feeling as though maybe her prime is behind her and she's made all the wrong decisions and ended up in the worst place, and just living in the past. And through this extremely out there experience, she learns the simplest thing, which is just to live in the present and to love and cherish what you have, and that she really has the whole time. And I just love their layout. And the Daniels, just with 2 movies, have become probably, they're up there for like my favorite film creators. You know, where like I talk a lot about directors, not just directors, but like same way with like Paul Thomas Anderson is not my favorite director, but I would say all the time that he may be the best film person out there, film freak, geek, whatever you want to call them. Just he has this way about just everything that goes into his movies, that like you look at the core of his movies and like most of them don't even have a real plot line, and he's still so big and he's great because of how he puts them together. It's the care that you put into it and how original you are with how you tell your stories. That's what's really important, especially in film, because you're going to end up having to tell the same story a million times. It's just how you tell it that's going to make people really think in a different way. And I think the Daniels do that so well in general, and with this movie specifically, I can't say enough. It's really good. I came close to giving it a 5-star, and I can't give it a 5-star without watching a movie at least twice, because there's going to be stuff I missed, or maybe it was just seeing it the first time. But it got a 4.5 out of me on the first try, which is big. Last season alone, I think I gave out 2 or 3 4.5 stars, which is still a lot, but out of 50 movies that I've seen. So, man, it's something. I believe it's something special. Maybe it's not for you, but I couldn't even tell you what type of person's gonna like this, because it's so just up in the air. You don't really know who this movie's made for, but I hope that anybody who watches this video and sees it because I'm talking about it, or is watching this because they're thinking of going to see it, go see it. It is worth finding out, even if it ends up not being for you. It's just a movie I feel like anybody who likes to see a film likes to see films, likes to just have a good time, needs a breath of fresh air, go see it. Because for me, that's exactly, as bare as the bones as what this was, and that itself earned it points, is that this is a breath of fresh air because it's nothing like any other movie. And I noticed that right away, where I was like, I've never seen anything like this, and I loved it because it was something that the way it's put together should have been kind of silly, but it wasn't. It was funny, but it knew how to ground itself exactly when it needed to ground itself, and the performances were fantastic. It was really well cast, even though no A-listers. I think the biggest actor was the kid who was in Indiana Jones years ago, who plays the husband now. This is his first movie since then, so it's like, I think that's wild. I love all the choices they made, even in the casting. They got Jamie Lee Curtis in this one, and she's really funny. Everything was done really right, and it's something you wouldn't expect to be as good as it is. So please, please, please go see it. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's A24, so obviously it's good in all the technical ways. The score is fantastic. I could go on forever, but I'm going to leave you with that. Go see it. If you were watching this video, go see Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. So far as the movie of the year. We'll see if it stands the test of time and maybe even ends up at the Oscars. Is it this year's Coda? We don't know. See you next time. Peace.